Shalom, Yasharallah. This your brother Dawada, coming back as this is truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here quick article right now. Basically, the summary of it all is, hey, man, it ain't looking too good for Babylon, man. This place is new term, Thruski. All right. So it says, whoever wins in November, here's 6 reasons why America is on the brink of a complete political and social breakdown. Right. What a lot of people don't understand is it don't matter who the president is. All that's irrelevant. This is all just distractions anyway. You're on an inevitable path to destruction anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's through already. So no matter who wins, it's just going to intensify or speed up this here rapid decline, So it says, I'm not going to read this whole article, but this is a very good article to read. It says the toxic U.S. political culture has been laid bare in tomorrow's opening TV debate between Trump and Biden. It's so bad that whichever man wins the election, there's likely to be further violence, especially if the results are close. America is facing unprecedented political and social crisis no matter who wins in November's presidential election. All right. The broad outline of these looming problems is already apparent, and they have their roots in toxic political culture that has developed in the country over the last 30 years, really from the beginning. All right. Because what people don't understand is no matter if you vote Republican or Democrat, overall, they're going with the same agenda. We can go back as a snapshot from George Bush to Donald Trump right now. Right. George Bush, who was a Republican, went over in the Middle East after 9/11, brought those troops over there. What was Barack Obama's campaign? We're going to bring the troops home. We're going to stop all these crazy wars. Well, he intensified and went to Syria, and he also went to Venezuela. He went to another place as well, too, right? Well, what happened when Trump got in office? Oh, we're going to bring the troops home or whatever, whatnot. That old Obama era. Obama came in preaching, we got to change from that old Bush era. Then when you got your boy Trump in there, he was saying, we got to make America great again and take away everything that Donald Trump or Barack Obama put in office, repealed Obamacare. All they did was renamed it. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at the agenda that's been passed all the way down, it's the same. They're going amongst a same straight line, But nevertheless, hey, man, people don't realize that. So it don't matter who wins. It's still going down the same drain. All right. So here goes 6 different points. It says Donald Trump's failure to deal with COVID-19 pandemic, the recent intensification of race problems that have bedeviled Americans' politics since the 18th century. Really, well, yeah, they kind of right about that, like the late 1700s. But hey, man, this is what it's been like since we got over here, man. All right, really since Columbus brought his little ass over here. All right, the rioting and social breakdown recently and engineered, I guess that ain't what that word is, by Black Lives Matter movement and other groups, which we know that's been a ploy from George Soros. But nevertheless, hey, man, Jake is tired. The Most High is waking Jake up, man. This is the end of our captivity, man. All right, so now, it's starting to become apparent, The recent intensification of culture wars have plagued American society since the 1960s, where you started pushing out those women's rights and so on and so forth, which, this is like a buzzword. It's a trick in the bag, man, because it's like, let's say if we was to go out right now and say, we believe that every American should have equal rights. We shouldn't discriminate against anybody. Well, this is a trick because, yes, that sounds good. But how many people with children would allow a known tried in court pedophile who was caught on tape molesting and raping little kids and chopping them up and eating them, would allow that dude to babysit their child? Wouldn't you want to discriminate against them and put them in jail and not allow them to have these type of rights or whatever, whatnot? So, yeah, you would want to discriminate against certain people for certain things, but they would push these agendas. Well, we want to have equal rights for everybody. But in reality, these are buzzwords to get people thrown off with these certain things, But it says, emergence of a so-called radical leftist group within the Democratic Party led by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC, and tolerated by Joe Biden. Trump's recent politicizing of the Supreme Court in the abortion issue by nominating an appointee with strong anti-abortion views, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, to replace the Justice Ginsburg. These recent developments have led to a dramatic deepening of division within the American society that will only intensify after November's election, whoever wins the outcome. All right? What happens if Biden wins? And again, I'm not going to read this whole article, but just touching on a couple points. First, the anti-Trump forces within the Republican Party will turn on Trump and his supporters, and the party will go through a period of bloodletting and political infighting. Trump won the Republican nominee in 2016 because he was the only he was the only nominee with any chance of beating Hillary Clinton. Many Republicans despise Trump and only support him because he won in 2016 and he can win again. Mitt Romney is typical of this group. He hates Trump. He voted to impeach him, but he has recently given him crucial support on the Supreme Court nominee issue in order to ensure Republican victory in November. Recent criticism of Trump by George Bush and other former Republican figures within the party confirm within the Republican Party. I skipped a line. Recent criticism of Trump by George Bush and other former Republican figures confirm the depth of the anti-Trump feeling within the parties. So too does the recent endorsement of Biden by former Republican Senator John McCain's widow. They're not running for office, so they can only say what they think. Hardcore Trump supporters, of course, will never accept Biden's victory, and they will take to the streets to protest. All right. So as you're starting to see these things happen, man. All right. If Trump wins, then the people that the Republicans that not like Trump, the Republicans that don't like Trump, they're gonna try to split off and make their own little branch in there. If Biden them win, you know what I'm saying, then you already know it's gonna be infighting from all the Trump supporters. If Biden them lose, which you'll read, where is it? All right, let me read this one. What will happen if Trump wins? Clearly, the Democratic Party will likely to fracture altogether. The AOC faction will either attempt to take over the party or split from it. In either case, this will be a disaster for the Democrats because they need support from both AOC and Biden voter bases to win the elections. Amidst the chaos, conservatives, Democrats are likely to drift back to the Republican Party as they did in 1968 during the Reagan years. Hey, so going into these things, man, they screwed on either side, man, straight through ski, man. All right, so let's just read some scriptures real quick. I'm going to just read through this kind of quickly in Isaiah 47. Oh, before I get there, let me go to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Because this is where your boy Donald Trump pretty much ran his campaign on, all right? Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. So the point here is that it was a golden cup, you know? This is how, and this is for these Edomites, right? This is why Trump said, let's make America great again, because in their eyes, to them, and it was to them, you know, it was a great country for them, all right? So it's been that golden cup. Babylon had been the golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. You know, they was finessing all these other countries or whatever, whatnot, making them pay off all the bills here in America, do all the slave work for them, like China. Hey, take all of our labor and sell it to us for dirt cheap, you know? Pollute your place and give it to us dirt cheap so we could just be a consumer nation and not have to be having all this, you know, hard labor and everything, right? Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand and made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, all right? But what's going on now, 2020? Babylon is suddenly falling, which Babylon has been slowly but surely crumbling, all right, since 9/11, all right? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How? For her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed, right? So this is what these people, they said, hey, let us vote for Donald Trump, because what was his slogan? Make America great again. So they're saying, look, how for her take balm for her pain, you know, vote for Donald Trump so she may be healed, that they can make America great again, right? What was the Most High's response? It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. All right, America ain't gonna be made great again. All right, you think America was bad when Barack Obama was running the presidency, you know, to all these Trump supporters, but look what happened under the Trump regime, man. The COVID lockdowns and so on and so forth, the economy, which the COVID lockdowns, you know, not to say, oh, because COVID happened, it could have happened to anybody. This was all manufactured to basically go along with the destruction of this here global economy, all right? For we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven, and she is lifted up even to the skies. You know, because here in this here God-forsaken place, they've been pushing out this homosexuality. You know, they've been drinking of the wine, man. They done pushed homosexuality throughout the whole world, got the International Monetary Fund throughout all these other countries, spreading their lies and their propaganda all around the whole earth, man. All right, polluting the whole earth. You got basically fake islands the size of the state of Texas, all right, full of just trash just floating around in the ocean and everything like that, all right? Earth's, you know, basically what they call outer space is polluted with nothing but space debris and all kind of satellites and things like that out there just roaming around and falling from the earth all the time, or falling to the earth all the time, man, all right? So let me go from there back to Isaiah 47, all right? So it says, going back into, we would have made Babylon, we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. But what is the state that Babylon is going through, all right? Isaiah 47, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Let me go somewhere else first, you know. We go to the book of Luke, chapter 21. Let me just read verse 27, 25. All right. Luke 21 and 25. You know, these are the signs of the end, right? And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity. All right. So you have all these different issues and problems, economic collapses, pollution going on right now here in America. You got all, the West Coast all on fire, all these hurricanes in the Gulf. All right. You have the locust plague going on over on the other side of the globe. All right. You have all these different things, all these different perplexities and distress of nations, you know, uprisings and protests going on around the earth. All right. Again, you could take away the COVID-19 here in America, the so-called race riots going on here in America, all these different things, and just look at just the election itself, man. All right. That alone is showing you that this whole place, hey, you got to stress upon it. How does it say? It says, distress of nations with perplexity. All right. We was just reading an article. What happens if Trump wins? What happens if he loses? Either way, it's going to be chaos, man. All right. Let's just say this wasn't an election year. Well, you still got the so-called COVID hoax, man. All right. Well, what happens if you didn't have that? Well, you still got the fires and you still got the hurricanes and everything that's going on, man. All right, well, what happens if you take that away, man? You still have a global economic shutdown, man. All right. So you have all these different things going on, but how much more here in Babylon, right? So let's go back to Isaiah 47 now. Isaiah 47 and 1 is, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit in the ground, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. You know, Babylon had been that golden cup, but it's no longer being, you know, it's no longer being called that golden cup. No more being called tender and delicate, man. All right, now this nation is turned to worms and rust, man. All right, so now Trump trying to make America great again, but what was the future prophecy of Babylon? Is here God-forsaken place, man. All right, it says, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Now that dust represents what? Confusion. They don't know what the hell's going on. Distress upon nations. What's going to happen if, you know, there's people right now that's scared as hell for these elections to happen, man. They're like, man, we don't know what's going to happen after the November elections, man. Whoever wins is going to be hell and chaos, man. We might as well go get our gun, what they say, guns and butter right now, man. All right. Come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit in the ground. There is no throne. Why is there no throne? Because, see, America was the golden cup, the golden nation over the whole earth, man. They was ruling over all the nations and everything else. But now America's being shut out of power, man. You got Russia and these BRICS nations and everything like that trying to find ways to cut America out. Like Russia is cutting America out of being the world leader of weapons and arms. All right. China's trying to shut them out with being the world leader of so-called technology and everything like that. And also economics, you know, the financial system, man. All right. Also, Russia's trying to cut America off of being the number one so-called distributor of basically gasoline and shit like that, you know. So they're trying to cut America out the picture right now, man. All right. Verse 2, take the millstone and grind mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man. Quickly, I will not meet thee as a man, is when the Lord is coming back in these chariots. But up above that where it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen, right? Now all the lies and the wickedness is coming out over here of America. You know, they're talking about all the Russian influence, the Russian shit in the elections. Come to find out that was all hoax and lies. All the politicians and the Jeffrey Epsteins and the Harvey Weinsteins and all these other Steens or whatever, whatnot, all pedophiles and molesting and raping everybody, you know what I'm saying? And sex trafficking everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody here in America is on drugs, man, prescription drugs. They all like opioid out and everything like that, man. All right, causing confusion around the earth, spreading your propaganda and everything like that, man. All right, the so-called atrocities you've done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Why do you think you have the so-called Black Lives Matter protests and uprisings in other countries? All right, the same thing is going on. Jacob's being oppressed around the whole earth, but nevertheless, it's all being pushed off of the guys of whom? Esau, Edom, man. All right, but now all this here wickedness is coming out. They're being exposed for being the devil of who they are. All right. Verse 4, as for us, as for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, get in the darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, thou shalt be no more called the Lady of Kingdoms. And as 2020, has it not been a year of darkness, man? All right, because America was that golden cup, man. America was like, oh, we got this, we got that, we the first and that. Y'all should take and listen to us, take the advice from us, do how we doing. Don't nobody want to listen to America about shit. Look at how they handled the so-called COVID. How come they didn't? They were talking about the Chinese, the Wuhan virus, but now all of a sudden it's like all these people over here is they the #1 hotspot now. So what's going on with this, man? We don't want to take no advice from them, man. All right, why would we want to take their advice when they look where they at, man? All right. Let me jump down to 7. It says, "Thou says that I shall be a lady forever, and thou did not lay these things to heart, neither did thou remember the latter end of it." All right, you didn't think about, you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about, Jake doing some dumb shit. You doing going on a chain of bank robberies and things like that. Jacking the dope boys and everything like that. Yeah, you getting a little money right now. You making off with the money right now, but you don't realize in the end all be all when you're over there counting up your money or in the house on all your drugs that the police gonna kick in your door because they've been watching you, bro. You've been getting sloppy. They're gonna eventually catch your ass. All right, the dope boys gonna finally figure out that it's you just robbing all them, and they're gonna come tie your ass up and put you in the trunk. So America done got off with all this here slavery for the whole time and enslaving Jake and oppressing Jake and all these different things, and now the chickens are coming home to roost, man. It's all being blown up in their face. They've been fleecing the flock and finessing all these other nations. We think these nations wasn't gonna wake up and realize that, man? All right. Verse 8. "Therefore hear now this, thou art given to pleasures, thou dwellest carelessly, and sayest in thy heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children." All right. Yeah, I'm going to stop reading from there. But really, you can read this whole chapter. It's a really good chapter to read. But nevertheless, and which is all going into the downfall of America. But for the time's sake, and just to hit the point of the lesson going into the confusion this here place has come to over this elections and everything else, man. All right, we're going to continue on. We're going to go from there to, let me get to 2nd Esdras. Right here we go. This is 2nd Esdras 15. I'm starting verse 14. "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." All right, so now we bring this out a lot over a lot of different topics, whether it be the uprising of the people over race, the so-called race wars, Black Lives Matter movement, protests, or over the grocery store fighting over the toilet paper and things like that. All right, right now over these elections, but all these things are what they call like it's like a boiling pot. All these things are just adding fuel to the flame, man. All these little small things are all coals that's being thrown into the fire to help heat up their fire, man. All right, and all they're looking for right now is that one ignition switch, man. It's like you trying to grill or whatever. Now you put a bunch of different pieces of charcoal inside the grill. All right, then you cover it all with that lighter fluid. All you need is that match to go in there and set everything off, man. All right, and this is where all these things are going to start happening because you're going to have all these things happen all at once, man. Watch the series, The Purge. All right, they had one of them called The Election Year and how everything, you know what I'm saying? All these things started happening because why? They came to a certain boiling point to where it was like, all right, now it's just all out chaos, So continuing on, verse 15. "For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Give me 1 second, Slakia. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their actions stand in their power." Like I was saying, with these uprisings and these protests, you have a lot of people going out there fighting with the police and everything like that. But how much more in that article we was just reading about these elections, man? You're going to have some people that's going to go haywire. Just imagine if Donald Trump lose these hardcore Edomites out here just riding around with their MAGA hats on or whatever. And I remember the dude from that one so-called Christian church or whatever, whatnot, where they had us on the news talking about you dusty-ass Edomites and everything like that, how proud and that smug look on their face, man. They was mad that they made the news and everything like that, and they sued the news because they was embarrassed. How much more when they get the ultimate embarrassment of what? Losing at their election. If that was to happen, let's just say they was going to lose the election, right, which I don't foresee Trump leaving office, but let's just say they lose that election. These proud-ass Edomites is not going to take that, man. They will go to the, you had it when they was trying to impeach Trump. They was like, they had a protest around the White House. They was like, yo, if he's impeached, Trump ain't going nowhere. They had that one Edomite out there. It's like, well, what makes you so confident? He said, my 357 Magnum over my cold dead body. Will Donald Trump be removed out that there White House? We don't care about no goddamn elections. These proud-ass Edomites. So what does it say? For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, the people in authority, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So if the Trump supporters lose, if Trump loses the election, the Trump supporters are going to go haywire over this, man, to keep him in office. They got always rigged, always blah, 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 whatever, whatnot. If Trump win, all right, these, you see how he was reading an article, they said the Democratic Party was split into two, all right? a lot of these so-called anti-Trumpers will be out here and going haywire as well too, man. They be like, oh, like how they trumping up so-called black people to go out here and vote. How it's so important. These racists keep killing us because you won't go out to the polls and vote. The day that they sit there and say, oh, Donald Trump is won the presidency or whatever, whatnot, they will push the sentiment into so-called black people's mindset. They're like, now these Edomites finna start killing you niggas. You got to do something. You got to kill them before they kill you. So it's going to cause an all-out chaos, man. Oh, we ain't taking another 4 years of Donald Trump or whatever, whatnot. We got to do something. So this is nothing but a recipe set for disaster, man. All right? Verse 17, and the man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and the houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. All right? Because, hey, man, it's going to be all-out chaos, man. They might have to enact martial law over this presidency and everything like that because they don't want Trump in office. I remember when he was getting elected, they had that fake-ass photo op of him walking down into, what they call it, I think the Lincoln Memorial or where the obelisk is out there, the Washington Monument. You know, they was walking down there. They had a certain angle where it was showing that it was, like, packed out there, but it was really a small handful of people out there in the parade walking with Trump or whatever, whatnot, because of the security purposes. And ain't nobody really want him to be in office at that point in time. Those people that was mad with him, they was like, yo, want to do harm to him. So they had to block off all those things. So how much more if Trump was to go outside right now or to win this year election, have to go outside, man? All right? Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor and shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Really, and that's going into once this global economics take place and there's no more food. But the point is, there's going to be sedition among men and they're not going to be regarding these people in authority and the police and so on and so forth, man. Like I said about that one dude when they was impeaching Trump, all right, he was like, shit, he ain't leaving office over my dead body. I don't give a damn what the law say, what y'all done voted on or however any of this shit go. That's my man. We voted for him. That's in these Edomites' eyes and in reality, this is their savior, man. This is their Lord, their personal Lord and Savior, Donald Trump. That's their man. Because why? Trump promised to make America great again for them. Because why? They starting to see the so-called, what they call the browning of America. All right, Jake coming up or whatever, whatnot. Which if Jake was getting so-called equal rights, all right, or being put up on some kind of level, that means these Edomites will have to, lose some of their rights, lose some of their privilege. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right, if there's only 100%, right, and I'm holding 90%. Or 99%, and you got that 1%. In order for you to get more than that 1%, that means I have to lose some of my 99% for you to get, like, if y'all want 50-50, that means I got to, let's just keep the math simple, right? 90% and you got 10%. That means I got to lose, what, 40% and you got to gain 40%. I'm not trying to lose 40% so we can be on equal playing fields. Nah. I've been used to eating it, my paychecks, I've been used to getting a $90 paycheck every single month or whatever, whatnot. I'm not about to be taking no $40 paycheck. Who on their job want to take a pay cut, man? All right, I've been used to getting this here paycheck. So, hey, man, they about to start going haywire out here, man. Either way, whether he win or if he lose, man. All right, so I just wanted to go through the scriptures after reading that their article and point out some of these things. But this is the future of America, man. It's going down the circling the drain, man. This place is through ski, man. This place is done. This place is through, man. These Edomites, man, this is their worst night. Well, nah, this ain't their worst nightmare. They ain't even seen their worst nightmare. They ain't even thought about their worst nightmare, man. These so-called UFOs coming back and the so-called black man coming up out of there who is Yahushua, all right, our Lord and our Savior, man, come back out of there and put their ass in subjection. That don't even cross their mind. You know what I'm saying? That's why Wisdom of Solomon 5 say what it say, man. But really, their biggest nightmare that they can perceive right now is Donald Trump losing that presidency because then they gonna be like, oh shit, just like when Barack Obama came in presidency, man. They was committing suicide and shit in bricks because they're like, oh shit, it's a nigga in president. This nigga's gonna allow them to get guns and kill us all, man. This is the Edomites' biggest fear is that Jake would get some kind of equal rights and do to them what they done to us, man. Why you feel like that, man? Because you convicted for your wickedness that you've been committing, man. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Again, Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.